Sri Jairam Ramesh.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir. Sir, I'm fortunate that both the Agriculture Minister and the former Agriculture Minister are present when this short duration discussion is taking place. Sir, the long period average for the Indian monsoon between July and September is about 89 centimeters of rainfall. Up to the 7th of July, which is day before yesterday, the normal rainfall should have been about 22 centimeters. The actual rainfall is about 13 centimeters. So there is a 42% deficiency as compared to the normal as of the 7th of July 2014. So this is the all India figure. When you break down the all India figure, you find that in central India, which is Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, parts of UP, parts of Jharkhand, the deficiency is as high as 64%. The deficiency in the southern peninsula is about 40%. The deficiency in east and northeast is much lower at about 20%. And the deficiency in northwest India, which is Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Delhi, is about 42%. So on an average, all India, sir, as of the 7th of July, the monsoon deficiency is 42%. Now, if you look at the last 50 years, the bulk of the monsoon rainfall occurs between the 20th of July and the 30th of August. So we are entering a danger zone. Today we are on the 9th of July. We have about 10 days. And if this situation continues till the 20th of July, then we are in a very serious situation. So what needs to be done? So in 2012, we had a similar situation. And that is why I'm glad that Sharad Pawarji is present here today. In 2012, the government of India, the UPA government, set up an empowered group of ministers on drought management. I know this government is allergic to group of ministers and empowered group of ministers, but the institution of the empowered group of ministers under Sharad Pawarji's chairmanship and comprising of various ministers took a large number of decisions which are relevant for managing this year's drought also. And I would like to bring to the Honorable Agriculture Minister's attention 3 important decisions which I think can be taken between now and the 20th of July so that when we are in that critical zone, we are better prepared to manage the drought. So the first and most important is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. So this is an act that Parliament passed in 2005. It guarantees 100 days of employment. But what was decided in 2012 and continued thereafter is that in all the drought notified taluks and blocks, the guaranteed employment will not be 100 days but 150 days. And in fact, sir, many states, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Andhra Pradesh took full advantage of this relaxation in the Mahatma Gandhi Narega norms, which allowed for 150 days and the additional expenditure over and above the 100 days was borne by the central government. This is very important. It was not shared with the state government. The entire 50 days additional employment came from the central government. So unfortunately, in the last 1 month, there has been a lot of uncertainty on Mahatma Gandhi Narega. We read in the newspapers that the Rajasthan Chief Minister has written to the central government asking for Mahatma Gandhi Narega to be scrapped. But in today's newspaper, sir, interestingly, in today's newspaper I read that the very same Rajasthan Chief Minister has told her officials to lobby with the central government for greater funds under Mahatma Gandhi Narega for managing drought in her state. My request to the Honorable Agriculture Minister is please end this uncertainty on Mahatma Gandhinagar. So it is very unfortunate Gopinath Mundeji is not with us. But I know how committed Gopinath Mundeji was to Mahatma Gandhinagar. And subsequently, unfortunately, after his most tragic demise, there is a big question mark on the future of Mahatma Gandhinagar. I think this is the one policy, one program, one instrument that the central government has in order to manage the drought more effectively. I request the Honorable Agriculture Minister to impress upon his own government that in all drought notified taluks and blocks, these notifications are done by the respective state governments. In all drought notified taluks and blocks, guaranteed employment in public works will be for 150 days and not 100 days, and the cost of the additional 50 days would be borne by the central government. So the money is not very large. Sorry? नहीं, अखबार में कई खबरें आई हैं, राजस्थान के मुख्यमंत्री का खत आया है, ये सब अखबारें छप चुकी हैं गोयल जी, नहीं, ये सब छप चुकी हैं। देखिए, मैं इस सरकार की नीतियों को सिर्फ ट्वीट और सरकार अखबारों के माध्यम से मैं पढ़ता हूं। राजस्थान के मुख्यमंत्री ने खत लिखा है ग्रामीण विकास मंत्री को कि महात्मा गांधी नरेगा कानून को बंद कराया जाए। अगर आप उसका खंडन कर रहे हैं इस बात, ठीक है, आपने सर, कैन आई कंटिन्यू सर?
Okay, please. Now, please. He is not yielding.
Sir, I am not yielding.
He is not yielding.
I am not making any allegation.
He is not yielding.
I am only going by. I'm only going by
newspaper report,
which is the only means of
you can
knowing
reply.
what the government is thinking nowadays.
You can reply
so
when your chance comes.
Any allegation.
Reply when your chance comes. VP Singh, you reply when your chance comes. He is not yielding. He is not yielding. He is not yielding.
Sir, मैं yield नहीं कर रहा हूँ सर, मैं yield नहीं कर रहा हूँ.
He is not yielding.
मैं yield नहीं कर रहा हूँ.
You, Mr. VP Singh, you can reply when your chance comes. You can reply when your chance comes. I will give you chance. Okay, please.
सर, अगर राजस्थान के मुख्यमंत्री ने ये खत नहीं लिखा है, ठीक है, आप उसका स्पष्टीकरण कीजिए. मैं अखबारों के जो अखबार में न्यूज छपी है उसके आधार पर जा रहा हूं, और ये आप खंडन नहीं कर सकते कि खत नहीं लिखा है. So, sir,
you can reply when your chance comes.
I'm glad that the honorable members from Rajasthan are getting very, very agitated. I'm glad that they are very forceful in their advocacy of Mahatma Gandhi Narega. I hope that the same advocacy will be done by their chief minister also. Sir, the first suggestion I have to the agriculture minister is in the drought notified taluks and blocks by the state government, 150 days of guaranteed employment be provided and the cost of 50 days be done by the central government. So the second decision that was taken in September 2012 by the empowered group of ministers is on pasture land. So this is very important because in a drought year, fodder shortage becomes very critical. And this is particularly true of states like Rajasthan. So what was done in 2012 was that the development of gochar lands, development of pasture lands was taken up as a priority under Mahatma Gandhi Narega. An advisory was issued to all the state governments. Some state governments actually started this work, and I want to mention Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, couple of examples. And I think this proved very useful in managing the fodder situation in 2013. So similarly, I believe in 2014, an advisory must go from the central government, the Ministry of Rural Development particularly, that the development of common grazing lands, development of pasture lands should be taken up so that fodder shortage does not become a casualty. So my third suggestion relates to drinking water. The central government has a program called the National Rural Drinking Water Program. 50% of the assistance comes from the center and 50% is given by the states. So I remember in August, September 2010, Sharad Pawar ji and I, we went to Karnataka, we went to Maharashtra, we went to Rajasthan, we went to Punjab, we went to Haryana, and we went to Gujarat and met the then Chief Minister of Gujarat as well to discuss how the state can be helped by the center for managing the drought. So this was a proactive approach, not just writing letters and sending circulars and issuing statements through the media, but actually two ministers went to 6 or 7 states, met the chief minister and took instantaneous decisions. So one of the decisions that was taken, that what is the entitlement of the state government under the National Rural Drinking Water Program would be fast forwarded. Normally, sir, the assistance to the states is given in 2 installments. But Mr. Sharad Pawar believed, and the chief ministers, including the then Chief Minister of Gujarat, Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Chief Minister of Karnataka, they all believed that since drinking water is going to be a crucial element of managing drought, the center must give the assistance in one go. And therefore, all norms were relaxed by the empowered group of ministers and assistance was given to the state government under the National Rural Drinking Water Program. I request the Honorable Agriculture Minister to follow a similar approach and ensure that the allocations meant for the states, particularly the drought affected states, does not go in installments but goes immediately so that the works can be executed and drinking water can be provided to the affected communities. So my 4th suggestion is taking up from what Ram Gopal Yadav ji mentioned about revival of water conservation structures, check dams, dug wells, percolation tanks, water harvesting structures. These are all traditional water conservation bodies, and this is one of the priority items under Mahatma Gandhinagar. In addition, as he mentioned, the former finance minister had announced a program for revival and rejuvenation of traditional water harvesting bodies. And I think, sir, today the priority should be immediately that whatever can be done to ensure the check dams, stop dams, percolation tanks, dug wells should be taken up in a very large way for managing the drought. I want to give one example from Jharkhand, sir. In Jharkhand, in the last 2 years, under the Mahatma Gandhi Narega program, almost 90,000 dug wells have been constructed. And these are not paper dug wells, these are dug wells on the ground. Full information is available in the public domain, and each of the dug wells irrigates a command area of about 1.5 to 2 hectares, and a 1-crop farmer in many instances has become a 2-crop farmer. So I think, sir, to summarize, given the fact that today on the 9th of July, we have at the national level a 40% deficiency in the rainfall, it is a very significant deficiency. We still have about 10 days to plan because the critical zone, as I mentioned, starts somewhere in the 20th of July. So in the next 10 days, if the government of India were to move in these 4 directions that I have enumerated, increasing Mahatma Gandhi Narega from 100 days to 150 days, accelerating the flow of funds to the state governments under the National Rural Drinking Water Program, revival of water conservation structures under Mahatma Gandhi Narega, and giving priority to pasture lands and grazing lands so that fodder does not become an immediate casualty, I think we will be able to manage the drought much more effectively as we did in 2012. So one final comment I want to make. The Indian monsoon is changing. We must recognize that Indian monsoon today is not the Indian monsoon of 10 years ago or 20 years ago. The overall rainfall has not changed. It still remains 89 centimeters. But the pattern of distribution of rainfall in response to climate change has changed. In fact, today, sir, when we were all growing up, when you were growing up, all your history books taught you, geography books taught you that Cherrapunji is the wettest place in India. Cherrapunji is no longer the wettest place in India. So climate change is changing the pattern of the Indian monsoon. Dry days are increasing. Days in which you get heavy rainfall is increasing. Extreme events are increasing. We must recognize the reality of climate change, and agriculture and agricultural planning and agricultural crop planning must reflect the impacts of climate change, shorter duration varieties, better agromet services to farmers through modern techniques like SMS. These are all the techniques that we have to adopt. And I think in the long run, we must recognize that the Indian monsoon, like many things in India, has not remained the same. We must be in a better position to predict the Indian monsoon. We must be in a better position to respond to the uncertainties of the Indian monsoon. I think if these factors are kept in mind, sir, we will be able to manage the drought. And I hope that by the 20th of July, the rain gods will be kinder to us. But if they are not kind, I think the government of the day, accompanied and associated by the state governments, will have to take steps across the various directions that I have mentioned, and perhaps we can revisit the situation once again. Sir, on the 9th of June this year, the Indian Meteorological Department issued a long-range forecast. So we cannot say we were caught by surprise. On the 9th of June this year, we knew that we were going to face a 40% deficiency in July. So this is not something that is uncertain. This is not something that we were caught unawares. We knew on the 9th of June that we were going to have a deficiency, and I think it is the duty of the government to respond to the information that becomes available on a real-time basis. Thank you, sir.